Let us look into Australia. Now, when we talk about Australia, it is one continent which is also a country. Now, if you look at Australia, some of the most important towns that may be asked in your prelims are Perth, then Adelaide, then your Melbourne, Canberra being the capital town of your Australia, Sydney, Brisbane, and there is one more important town in this place, that is your Hobart, which is in an island named Tasmania. One of the type of questions that can be asked in Australia is to arrange, they may give you 4 towns, that is Perth, Adelaide, Melbourne, Sydney, or let's say instead of Sydney, even Brisbane, and they ask you to arrange them east to west or west to east. Whatever the question might be, you will have to answer that. So when we talk about Australia, do have an idea about these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, as well as 7 towns. Now, giving you some idea about these towns, for example, Perth, the capital of your Western Australia, this is situated on a river called Swan. Then your next town, Adelaide, a very important town and the capital of South Australia. It is also the chief port of this particular state of Australia. Melbourne, this is the second largest city of this country and was also the former capital of this country. It is one of the major industrial centers of this country. Canberra, as you know, it is the capital of this country and is the administrative center also of this particular country. Apart from this, moving ahead to Brisbane, the capital of your state of Queensland, is also the chief harbour of this particular state. Lastly, Sydney, one of the largest and the oldest cities of this particular country and also the capital of New South Wales. And then there is one more town, that is Hobart, which is the southernmost town of this particular country. It is also a port and the capital of your state of Tasmania. Now let us see the map of your New Zealand. Now if you look, New Zealand is mainly divided into 2 islands, your North Island as well as your South Island. But then there is one more important island, that is the 3rd island, which is your Stewart Island as far as your New Zealand is concerned. If you look, here is your town of Wellington, which is in your North Island, but then it is your southernmost point of your Northern Island. That is, it's in the south part of your North Island. The importance of Wellington is that it is the southernmost capital of any country entire world. Another very important town in this place is your Auckland, which is the largest town of New Zealand, also situated in your North Island. Let us talk about Australia and the physicality of this particular country. Now, the first important thing that you can look here is your Great Dividing Range. Now, this particular Great Dividing Range, which you are seeing, is coming from Queensland and it goes via this and it enters even into your Tasmania. Now, the particular name, the dividing range, is given to this particular thing because of the fact that many of the rivers start from this particular highest, this most elevated part of Australia. This starts from Queensland and goes into Tasmania, crossing the Bass Strait. You can see this is your BASS Bass Strait, which is dividing your Tasmania and the mainland Australia. Apart from this Great Dividing Range, you have to understand that this particular continent has many different physical features also. For example, take your Great Barrier Reef, the coastal sea islands. You can see here. Now, you all must have studied about your coral reefs. Now, this is present here. Apart from this, you have to look at different deserts that are available and that are present in this continent. For example, you have the Simpson Desert, you have the Gibson Desert, you have the Great Sandy Deserts, you have the Great Victoria Desert. So there are different deserts which are present in the interiors of this continent. Apart from these, you can also look at the Timor Sea, the sea which separates your Australia as well as your East Timor. Then you can see here there is your Gulf of Carpentaria, which is very important. And then the last thing that you have to look in this particular chapter is thing that divides your North and the South Island of New Zealand, and that is called your Cook Strait.